whole family.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
They'll get over it.
They'll forgive you.
Yeah, just come on out.
Hey, Cam.
Good morning.
What the was that? Pretty glonky?
Pretty glonky.
All right, we're going. We're rolling.
Rolling, baby.
Intro?
Go ahead. A really special guest.
Thank you guys for joining us on today's episode of Unemployable Podcast.
Podcast.
We're just running
Run it
back.
from the top.
Let's run it back.
You know what you didn't do? You didn't do your... No, on two. Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining us on today's episode of Unemployable Podcast. Today we have a very, very, very special guest with us, LAHHEL.
Three bears.
Hello, people.
Tell us a little bit. You just going to end it there? Or you want me to take over now?
I'll try. For those who don't know, LAHHEL is from France. He tattoos over there. He's guest spotting with us currently, and we have the pleasure of having him on with us today.
Yeah. Out from Bordeaux, right?
Yeah, pleasure is for me to be here.
And first time in U.S.
Yeah, first time in America, like north, south. Like
Yeah.
First time I come here is for you guys.
Yeah, and I thought it was so cool because when we were over visiting you, and we're like, yo, have you ever wanted to, like, you know, come out to U.S.? And you're kind of like, oh, there's some other places I want to go visit.
That's true. That's
Bring
true.
him to South Florida.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Of all places to go.
It's America.
We're like our own country here.
Yeah, I saw some part of it.
Yeah, and yesterday you got to go out with Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait. How about you tell us what happened?
Yeah, I wanted to see a little bit of the American culture. So we went into like the fire weapon place where you just like shoot at some random targets that did nothing wrong to you. And like we were shooting him because Dan is fucking proud of his like all his weapons. He didn't tell me how am I supposed to hold it. So I was a little bit too close of the, how do you call it, the score? The
scope.
The scope.
You're shooting a sniper rifle.
Yeah, it was like the fucking huge one, you know, like the guy was showing off like, oh, I have the biggest weapon and everyone in the shop is like looking at me.
Dan's like shooting other people.
Walks in there with bald eagles and shit. This is America.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm a veteran, it's okay.
So he told me like, stand like this because you look cool. But
Now cock it to the side.
And actually he didn't even told me that I had not to put my eyes too close from the scope, so like just like the kickback, just boom, I was like knocking up, and I was like, am I bleeding? And the guy was like, wait, I'm gonna take pictures of you.
He's probably laughing too.
So I have a picture like with my forehead like just bleeding, and I'm more like, can we go home now? And he said, but I have more bullets to shoot, and I don't care. But I love him.
I think you got lucky, though, that you didn't give yourself a black eye.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
For
that's
real?
the way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because of the scope, it's round and geometric, so I like it.
Right, it's form.
Cool scar.
Good, you have good flow.
Yeah. That looks nice. Gives you character.
Yeah, good introduction, American culture.
That's right. Doesn't get any better than that. So LAHHEL and I met. At first, we were talking just through Instagram,
Yeah.
and I think it was a video with Cam where you said my middle name's Castle, right?
Yeah.
Right? And then you were like, my middle name's also Castle.
I don't know. I don't remember.
I think you messaged me, and it was like funny, whatever you said.
Slid in the
Okay.
DMs.
And also, like, your work was amazing. So we were going back and forth, and then you invited me out to France. And I looked at Seth, and I was like, yo, we should do this. And he was like, yeah, fuck yeah. So we went out there. And I know that I've told you this, and we've gone over it, but when you do a guest spot, like, you never know how it's going to be.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Or even having a guest, right, on your end of it. So I remember we got to France, and you're like jet lagged, right? And you're like, oh, like, what's going on? And we're like, oh, we just got to get a meal. So we asked the dude at the hotel. He gave us like too many options. So we're like, all right, we'll just go to like the closest one. We show up at the cafe, and I couldn't figure out if we were just supposed to sit down or if I was like supposed to be seated. So I go over, you know, to the person that worked there, and I was like, should I just sit down or should I wait to be seated? And as soon as I spoke English, you could kind of see she didn't really like me.
Not English, American.
American, yeah.
That's different.
Yeah. And it's worse.
Yeah, way worse.
And she was like, just sit down, you know, whatever. I was like, all right, cool. So we like sit at the table, and she's like, not that table. And I was like, all right. And like, we hadn't slept in a long time, and, you know, Seth's cranky as fuck. So we were just like, you know, fuck this. We're not even gonna sit here. So we're like there, and I'm like, damn, I don't know, like, if France is gonna be that cool. You know?
It's a good start.
And we got to the shop. I think it was the next day, and it was nothing but like an amazing welcome. LAHHEL was such an amazing host. The tattooing was awesome. The shop was awesome. The people at the shop were great. Like, everyone was involved. It was kind of everything you could hope for in a guest spot. So not only was the week amazing, but then LAHHEL's taking us out to all these, you know, castles, these restaurants, and he's, you know, you were asking, you're like, if you want, I can tell you everything about the architecture, or not, or I could be quiet and we could just walk. And I'm like, yeah, like, let's talk about it, you know? And we were going around, and I was just so impressed with the knowledge you had about everything.
Thank you.
And you could see that you had taken the time to really learn where you lived and the culture and things associated with that, which, to be honest, is not really that common here, you know, here in the U.S. I feel like, at least my experience, a lot of people take surroundings for granted and a lot of things for granted, and I could see that you didn't. I'm not saying everyone, but I'm saying, you know, most people around here, or they're like trash their own state. Like, oh, I fucking hate this place, you know, whatever.
This McDonald's been here since 1843.
Right. And then it's like a finale, like at the end of the week, you took me to the chateau, and we did my head tattoo in the castle, which was amazing. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that, because that's a newer project that you've been working on. So rather than me explain it to them, why don't you tell us a little bit about
I'm
that?
going to try.
Yeah.
So, yeah, first of all, I started by making ornamental style into the tattoo industry. And I feel a bit weird about it, because that's not my culture to do mandalas and stuff like this. And I was searching for shapes that could fit with what I am. And because I was starting to search about it, at some point it just like a normal kind of point of view to see that I was surrounded by all that architectural, ornamental, medieval stuff, and I just like it just popped up, you know, like a brain fart.
Yeah, you're like, what shapes should I use? And you're like, oh, how about all these?
Yeah, and it was like kind of a waste not to use it. And I started to use it, and actually it was something that it was part of me since ages, but I was not using it because I thought that maybe it will not work into tattoo industry. And when I start to make like rose windows, I start to hide it in the mandala shape.
Yeah.
And I thought that nobody will want that kind of stuff. And I posted in the same week, like I had 3 mails, and I was a very small, young tattooist. I had 3 mails, like, can I have that kind of stuff? And I was like, okay, so actually it's a rose window. Do you really want a rose window? And they was like, yeah, I want it. And I was, okay,
yeah,
we can start it. So
why did you think it was more like a feminine thing?
No, it was more like a nerd thing.
Oh, okay,
you know, like history, culture.
Yeah.
And it's not really reliable or retailable to like tattoo, you know?
Yeah.
Like you have like hardcore counterculture tattoo stuff and very fancy cultural architecture, castle, medieval history. And I didn't know if it was like mixable, you know?
Sure.
And actually, it is.
Right. Turns out.
Pretty well. And it was very cool because I thought that I could learn about it. And that's a very cool thing about the work that we do, like being tattooist. It's that we can learn every day about something, or we can just wait for a client that comes, because actually every client has something to teach us.
Right.
You can just say, okay, I'm gonna do the lettering for you, or you can like ask, okay, so what does that mean for you? Like, what do you want to say? Like, what is the deepest meaning of your stories? And each time you're gonna learn something, and that's a very cool thing. So I started to learn because I had some architects that wanted me to tattoo them.
Oh, that's cool.
And they said like, can I have an axonometric stuff? And I was like, a what?
Right.
Like, and so I started to buy books, and I realized that I knew how to read.
You know what those are?
Yeah, tattooists.
Yeah.
And so I started to learn about it, and now I only tattoo architecture. That's it. I only do like medieval architecture, Gothic architecture, ornamental, and because I learned a lot about it, not on purpose. Sometimes it was just like, oh, I should need that kind of shapes for my tattoo, and you just have the name,
Right.
you know, near the picture. So little by little, you just start learning, and it's like I'm giving something back to the architecture, because now I'm living thanks to the architecture, and I wanted to give something back to it, like to the legacy, to the patrimoine. And I had this idea, like, can I show to the people what it actually looks like a castle, what it is, like what you think it is, because we all have these fantasies about it, around it, like, okay, Lord of the Rings is cool, like Game of Thrones, actually, but like when you look at the history and the real castle, sometimes it's even more amazing than the fantasies. And so I had this idea, can I go tattoo in a castle? And like, can I take a client, a project, go there, tattoo there, and mixing like cool footages of the castle, of the tattoo, and maybe explaining in a cool way what is a castle, what is like a dungeon, like all the names that I don't know in English. You have subtitles. And But yeah, so we started like this, and at first it was very difficult to convince the people of the castle that no, I'm not gonna like do something hardcore in your castle, and that I very respect that art, and I just want to bring some people, more people to your castle, because all the people that going to the castle now are kind of old people.
Yeah.
And it's so fucking cool. So
probably even more so with the cathedrals, right?
Yeah, but like it's even more difficult to the cathedral because actually it's religious.
Yeah.
And like making a tattoo,
yeah,
making something in that kind of place is very, very difficult.
Especially if like clothes come off, you were saying, right?
Yeah. And it's my last problem in the third episode is I was tattooing a chest piece on a woman, and it was in chapel, and it was a Catholic chapel, because like it belongs now to the castle, so it's not a chapel where
people worship.
Yeah. So it was cool to tattoo there, but the people from the castle told me like, can we not have the final pack shot when she's just like remove the blanket that she
You're like, yo,
like
like in between mass, can I like tattoo this naked girl, or is that like cool or whatever?
That's tight though.
Yeah, and my video guy was so sad because actually the footage is amazing, like all the lights and the chapel, and she's just like remove, and you see like your tattoo is appearing in. But we're gonna have to remove it. That's
Patreon.
Patreon. Only
and
fun.
then and you just started posting these episodes.
Yeah, that's very, very new. Actually, I'm working on it since July, so more than 6 months now, because all the authorization was very, very long to have.
Yeah.
So it's very, very new. I only have like 2 episodes because it takes so much time to do it.
Yeah.
So I only have like now 2 episodes out. I try to do 1 per month. But it, like, we really tried to make it looks good.
Yeah, no, and it does.
Yeah, not
You saw
something
it,
Yeah,
right?
like
I
cheap.
saw the one with him. That episode was really cool.
You liked it?
Yeah, I did a lot. That was a really cool concept.
Did you learn some stuff?
What do you learn?
Cool.
What's the name?
Casuals are cool.
Guzzle and tiles.
Yeah, but you can tell like the production quality is awesome.
Yeah.
And even the intro when you're like standing there and it's under it's just your name if people want to see it, right?
And yeah,
LAHHEL, LOL, YouTube.
Yeah, it's very well put together. I enjoyed the drone shots too. It was
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah, it's cool because the art, you get to see so much more of the castle from a different point of view. I thought it was really cool.
And
John gets
actually-
back and he's like, yo.
Sorry?
John, as soon as John got back to the shop, he goes, yo, before we talk about it, we need a drone.
Yeah, drone is so cool.
That's how we're filming the TikToks from now on.
Just us flying in the air.
Yeah, and even if I don't really have like big visibility on the videos now, actually it's what I told you, I don't really care. It's just for me for now because
Yeah.
it's so cool to tattoo in the castle.
Yeah.
So even if I don't make videos about it, just like giving me the permission, like allow me to tattoo in a castle.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Like, it's fucking amazing. I love it.
Yeah, because when we did it, we were like high up on the tower. Like it took a long time to walk up all
Yeah.
the stairs, you know? And I thought it was cool how you take direct elements from the castle and incorporate it in the tattoo design. And I liked how when we were doing the video, you would have me like stand there and you'd point on my head, you know, at an arch or an opening. And then we're standing right next to the point of the castle that has that same thing.
Yeah.
And that's cool for the client, you know?
Yeah, that's cool for everyone. Like,
yeah.
that's cool for the client, for the castle, for me.
Right,
Like,
right.
You know, that's cool
Right.
for everything. Like, for the design, it helps me because it adds some constraints to the
Yeah.
design. And I think that adding constraints help you to be more into the art.
Yeah. Do you get any, I know you said it was difficult getting into the castles at first. What kind of feedback are you getting from artists in your area? Because no one's really doing that, right?
No, actually, I think I'm the first one. Or
Yeah.
if someone like finds something like this, like just tell me because I never saw something like
Yeah,
this.
I haven't either. But are people like talking about it?
Yeah, actually a lot. No, a lot. Like for now, I have like 2 videos out.
Yeah.
And 2,000 views on each videos.
Right.
So like, I think that everyone that saw the videos just fucking liked it.
Yeah.
But it's not a lot. So but I'm patient. So like, I just gonna make more of it. We will see.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it shows in your work. Like I feel like when people do stuff specifically to get like the views and all that, they'll just conform and try to get what people like. When you do something you're passionate about, it shows, and it shows in the videos. Like just the way you talk about it, and you've done the research, and it shows. Even
Yeah,
if
you take your time. Yeah, it's nothing but quality.
Yeah, and if you're producing content, like you don't have to, I guess, but I think you should.
You should.
You should care about what you're doing.
Yeah.
Or very quickly it's going to become work and annoying and you'll see that
People will see
change.
this.
And that's why when like we started making videos, I was like, what am I passionate about? And it's like making fun of people. I will do that for the rest of my fucking life, you know? But you can see it, man. Like you can see in the videos, or at least I can, like when you're doing it, like how much you care and how knowledgeable you are about that. And it was even when we weren't tattooing, we were just walking around. That was nice.
Cool.
Because I'm, you know, as a foreigner, like I'm looking up at this stuff. I don't know what it is. And I'm like, oh, what's that? And you're like, oh, this, based on the arches, it was probably built during this time period. I'm like, oh, cool. What about that? But I like that. I think it's sick.
I had this history teacher. She wrote a comment, and she wrote me on Instagram. She told me like, fuck, if all these history teacher could be that cool, it could help a lot the students. And she wrote me like, can I show the video to my students? And I was like, yeah. And I showed it to my mother, like, like actually I'm good at class.
See,
New
Mom.
substitute in town.
Now I open books, ma'am.
Right. I can read, Mom. Not very fast, but
1,000 views are just the kids.
It was the school.
The whole
school watched the video that day.
That's cool.
oh man. So obviously there are some differences from, everything, but let's talk about tattooing specifically, France versus here.
Yeah.
What are some major changes that you've noticed?
So first, I wanted to add something that you said at the first of the video.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
That the reason why the girl was so mean to you when you went to the coffee.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah, because at the middle of the week, actually, you asked me like, "What the fuck? Like, why are people are mean to me?"
Right.
And I said like, "Are you speaking in English?"
Yeah.
And you said yes, and I said, "You're not in England,
Right.
or in
right,
America."
right.
Like I just said like, try to say bonjour or to say merci. Like it's something that we do in Europe. When you go to Italy, for example, you just learn like, I don't know, 5 words just to say like, I know that I'm in your country. And
Right.
actually it's something very uncommon in with the American people. All the American people, because they know that everyone speak English, they just like come in and speak.
Like entitled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
I'll say it so you don't have to. Arrogant pieces of shit.
no, I haven't said it. But it's just like, starting with, I don't know, if you go to Germany, you start with like Guten Tag, and you like in Spain you say hello, or just like, you try to always have like a word or two in their language to say like, okay, I respect the fact that I'm in your country.
Right.
And actually I think you changed it when I said it.
Right.
And how is it after?
Right, and it worked out well. So, no, but it really did put it into perspective, because you said it in a really nice way to me. Just, I think...
Yeah, you didn't know it, so it's
right,
not your
it was
fault.
something along the lines of, hey, if you show that you're just trying, even if your accent sucks, even if you mispronounce a word, but you just show you're trying, people will respect that. So I'd like walk in, I'd be like bonjour, and then they'd go in French, and I'd be like, fuck. No. Je ne parle pas français.
Yeah, but then you start laughing and
Right.
people are smiling and you have a good time.
Yeah. Also, a lot of my clients over there spoke French, so I would just grab them and be like, hey, do you want to go out to dinner with me? All right, tell them what we want. No, but there's a lot of fun stuff, like even with some of the food and you telling me the proper way to eat it. Like, don't you fucking put that on the bread.
Yeah, that's a culture. Like the foie gras don't go over the bread.
Yeah. It was fun, though. It was fun to learn. It was fun to just participate. Like, cool, this is different. Like, let me, be open. Let me show respect the best way, that I can while we're over here. And by the end of the first week, I loved it, man.
Oh, thank
Like,
you.
the schedule was amazing. Like, we woke up, I don't know, 7, 8 o'clock. Seth and I would walk to the shop, which was like a mile away. Beautiful walk, right? Because all the history's there, all the architecture. And we're in Bordeaux, so we're crossing, it's a river, right?
Yeah.
So we get to walk along that long bridge, start tattoos at, 10, which in my brain, it's like 3 in the morning. we finish at 6, and then we'd go out to dinner for like 4 hours. And then
I
go
say
to
we
sleep.
adapt that.
It was nice. It was really nice.
And visiting villages and like all the backcountry roads and like
Yeah.
cities. Yeah.
And we went to Saint-Emilion, right?
Saint-Emilion, yeah.
Yeah, that was
because Bordeaux
cool.
is the southwest of France. We're near. Actually, like we're quite neighboring because
Yeah.
like you're just the other side of the Atlantic Ocean.
Sure.
So next time I will go to the shore, I will look at the horizon. You do the same, and maybe we can like.
I feel you.
Yeah.
How was Seth with all those welcoming rules
You
and
know,
food
you know,
rules?
yeah.
I could just see him putting everything on the bread he's not supposed to.
No, he was respectful as well.
For Seth, Seth did great. We like got over there, and he's
very
like,
well.
"Where's Louis Vuitton?"
I heard it's cheaper.
Channel and Dior.
Yeah, and then, but it was cool. A lot of people were like skateboarding in the street, which Seth really liked. So we would kind of post up at. Well, what was so nice is like in that area, all the restaurants, they're like right in the street,
Yeah, like sitting outside.
and a lot of it is like a walking city. So you can sit there. You're on the edge of essentially the road, which is like a walking road, and there's just so much to watch because it is a
People watch.
city. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's cool.
And there's always something going on, whether it's like the people skateboarding or just walking by, all different fashion. So it was nice to just sit there for hours.
Yeah.
You know,
La
when
vie
you
en rose.
talk. What's that?
La vie en rose.
What's that?
La vie en rose.
Levy on Rose?
Yeah, it's like life in pink.
Yeah, Levy on Rose, Cam. So,
Love that song.
yeah. But it was really nice, and LAHHEL took us to some really cool restaurants, some Michelin star restaurants. I had the cheese allergy. You remember that?
That he almost died.
Yeah, that
Let's
was
go and
cool.
give a quick rundown of that story. I think it's fun.
I think I already told the
Yeah,
story.
you
Did
did
he?
on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wanna give
It was
us-
fine. I just had an allergic reaction. I went outside, smoked a cigarette. That cured it. And then,
Yeah, but for the record, like we didn't know.
yeah.
Like because you just said like I feel a little bit weird. Then you went out
Yeah.
and we're like, is it okay? And you went back and was I almost died. And you was like so calm, I was like,
Right.
Not his first
seriously?
rodeo.
But thanks to the French cigarettes, it saved my life. It killed whatever was in there.
Yeah, everything in there.
Right. Yeah.
Including your soul.
Yeah.
I just love that you came back with all these cool videos and photos, and one of the first things that you're going to look back on your camera roll is
Will be my forehead, like just
that and Adrian and I eating fucking Dunkin' Donuts. The box there, he's like,
yeah, it was the first thing I saw here was a box of donuts on
Yeah.
the table. I was like, oh, America.
this is it.
Well, we were talking the other night about like the overuse and wastefulness here, right? And he was explaining that, like even like when stores are closed, they leave the lights on. I think that was the first thing we talked about. And then everyone, especially here, has like crazy cars, that guzzle gas, and there are rules over by you,
Yeah.
and you'll get fined. Right?
Yeah. In France, if you just let the light on the store, when like the store is closed, you will pay a massive tax, like
Yeah.
a bill, like something that's not good. And even if you want to buy a car, if the car polluted too much,
Right, like it's an unnecessary, like I think you said like a Corvette or something. Yeah.
you will have like I don't know. I don't remember the numbers, but to be very fair, so I'm gonna like
Yeah.
put it down. But if you buy like a big car, 50,000 euros, so it's almost same for dollars, you will have to add like another 30,000 euro just for the pollution taxes.
Right.
Just to get to say to the people that you don't need that car because like you need more your planet than your fucking car.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
that you don't even drive correctly because you have speed limits. So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
we don't care about the noise, we don't care about the speed.
I love that.
So yeah, it's something in France. Like we really try to, like, you know, every morning when I'm at set place, because I'm there, I try to turn off all the lights
In his house?
the
Oh, he
house.
leaves all
Yeah.
of them on, dude. It's so bad.
Because it's said that it costs more to cut it off than to let it on.
I don't think that's
No.
I think
Don't believe that shit.
Yeah.
Yo, I've heard that before too, though. I've heard that shit before too. Like
I don't
here, not even just from him, from like everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have like the garage light on. It's like, you don't even go in there. You haven't been in your garage in months. The light's on.
Yeah.
What about tattoo wise? I mean, we noticed that tattoos are more expensive here, right?
Yeah, because life is more expensive here.
Right.
Yeah. So it depends. It depends on the artist. Like, I think most of the French artists will be between 600 euro per day. Same for dollars.
Yeah, yeah.
But actually, when you guys are renting a house for $3,000,
Yeah.
the same house in France is $1,000.
Right.
So actually, like, the life is going the same, you know?
Somewhat similar.
Yeah, very similar.
Yeah, it's interesting because I'll have some clients that are tattooers and they live like Midwest or North, and they're still charging, you know, between $1,000 and $2,000 a day, but the cost of living is like way down.
Oh, yeah.
Like what you're saying, like maybe
Yeah.
$1,000 a month. Just to get really specific, I had one client, he said for $1,600 a month, he had a 4-bedroom house. So if you're making, you know, $1,500, $2,000 a day, and your cost of living is like that, you're living pretty
chilling.
good.
Yeah.
My house is 4 bedrooms.
Yeah.
And I, like, it's 1,000 euro.
Yeah.
And have, like, a huge garden, and
Right.
there is, like, 2 levels in my house, and my living room is, like, 70 meter squares.
Yeah.
Like, so it's not that expensive.
Right. We always have to look up the conversion.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah, like
metasquares.
14.
I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
metasquares. Miles,
Oh,
kilometers.
Metric
they don't
systems,
use their-
you American people.
What's
Our own made up
this is
shit.
our made-up system, and we like it.
It's simple.
So,
Yeah, and it's something, actually, it's, tell me if I'm wrong, but here in US, like, all the people have their full salary, just the boss just give you your full salary. And so when you ask someone to pay you, it will think with his full salary. And the difference is in France, you don't have your full salary. Like, when the boss give you your salary, he already removed all the healthcare, all
Right.
the retired, blah, blah, blah. So, like, for example, in France, if you get paid like 4,000 euro, you will only have like 2,000, because all the rest go to the taxes, the blah, 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 blah.
so you send that in for them?
No, you just don't have it.
Oh, okay,
Like,
gotcha.
the boss do it. Like, all the government do it. So, like, the 2,000 that remains is what you actually keep.
Right.
Because, like, health insurance is like, you have to. It's
Yeah.
not a choice. And people that they keep only 2,000 euro, when we tattooists ask them to pay the full, because we have to pay for our healthcare and
Yeah.
blah, blah. So it's like an evil, you know? It's because, like, they think that they just keep, but we are asking what we have to pay with taxes.
Right.
But here, you are on the same level. Like, if they want to pay taxes, they can, but they have all. You know what I mean? I don't know if
Right.
it's clear. Maybe
No,
you
I
can-
know. Wow, the shirt is actually really nice. If you haven't already, you need to check out themodelscitizenapparel.com. It has the best tattoo clothing I've ever seen. And I'm quite a critic when it comes to fashion, clothing, whatever. The design has to be cool and the material has to be comfortable, at least form-fitting. They have a range of styles from vintage to modern. They're continuing to work with new artists featuring new designs and articles of clothing. You need to check out this company, themodelcitizenapparel.com, or you can check out their social media, which is Model Citizen Apparel. It's the best.
In a tattoo, you know? Right. And it's not like this in France, and it's because, like, I think it's why the rates are so low.
Yeah, I mean, it was a major problem here, and I was seeing it all the time. Before borrowed time, all the shops that I would work at is, you know, all the artists would make all this cash. They'd be on 1099, and they'd either spend it all or they would try to do their taxes, and they would owe too much at the end of the year, and they would always end up with zero, you know, and bad credit, and it just hurt them. So here at the shop, we kind of implemented a different system where we don't do that. You know, we set up paychecks, everyone's on direct deposit, and really trying to better that system.
That's cool.
You know, to create it to be a little bit more organized. There have even been times where we had, not like classes, but like I would come in and we would do a seminar on how to structure that.
Okay.
You know, like we have accountants and CPAs that we recommend to everyone here, like use them and they'll explain what to do, get everyone incorporated. And I think for the most part, everyone here does that. And it's cool because you see the artists saving money. You see them able to buy homes, to get cars, to do all these things that prior, like I could never do. And I didn't see my friends doing it. It was always like cash deals, you know, and trying to avoid.
I will die soon. Getting old will be difficult.
Yeah. But we definitely see those problems here, you know, because of how relaxed the system can get.
Okay.
Right? I mean, you went to college for that.
Yeah, accounting sucks.
This might be a stupid question, but in school, do they teach English like an elective? Because I took French for a year. I don't remember anything.
Yeah, I think that we start to learn English since we are like 10 years old.
Nice.
And you will have like English all the years, like every years. But as most of the students, you just forget it.
Yep.
So like
I only remember how to go to, like, say, can I go to the bathroom? Because you have to ask.
Yeah. Say it.
Come
on, you know it.
It's like salle de Diane, something like that.
you were
Close.
Sont les toilettes.
Is it a toilet? Shit, they told me a different word.
I think in our French class they said, "Est-ce que je peux aller aux toilettes?"
Est-ce que je peux aller aux toilettes? Can I go to the bathroom?
Right.
And where is the bathroom? Où sont les toilettes?
Right. And then they taught us Chinois, which means Chinese. Obviously, you can tell I've been to Europe a few times.
So cultured.
Yeah, actually, I learned speaking English in Spain.
Really?
Yeah, because I was living in Barcelona for more than a year.
Did you get an accent from being over there, or it was the same?
No, because like nobody speaks Spanish in Barcelona. Barcelona is a multicultural city.
Right.
So I was in a shop where there was like German, Argentine, English, from Copenhagen. So many people from all over the world, and we were actually speaking English all the time.
You know what I really liked is the breakdown you gave me at dinner the other night with the ages. You ever know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't remember.
You're like, this country is like this old.
Yeah.
Can you say that again? Because it was so good. It like broke down all of Europe for me.
Yeah, it's the difference of the cultural. It's like you take every country and you give them an age. I'm gonna explain to you because I already did to him.
Right.
So
pay attention, Cam.
to know a little bit what you can expect to people from their.
That's my usual
morning.
time to wake up.
This is when you can't interrupt the podcast every time.
Sorry.
Oh, LAHHEL, move your mic a little more close to. Yeah,
A little bit closer.
As you were saying, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, so for example, you can say that Spanish people, so Spain is like a country that have like 14 years old, because you have like your first scooter and you start to be a little bit like foolish, and you know, like you're very teenager kind of, but you're still very kind, because like, you know, like you start to discovering life at 14 years old. And then you will have like Italian people, for example, they're like 18 years old. So you have your new car and you start like showing off and like very nice clothes and all about the girls, but the girls don't care about you, you know? And then like you have friends. Friends is 21 years old, is when you start to think that you know everything. And you're like, no, I know, like, that shit, I don't care, because like, you know, and that's very French. And then you will have like, for example, Germans people, they're like 30 years old, so a little bit more into the adulthood. So you start keeping down a little bit, and you will have like Norwegian people, they're like 50 years old, because it's just like, get over that shit, you know, just getting calm. And the more you go to the north, and the more people are calm, and it's very fun to see like you can actually compare the culture with an age.
It's like a different energy in every country.
Yeah. So Cam's very French then.
Fucking know it all.
He's 20, 22, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's right in there.
What's our age? It's Americans.
4.
No, it's the drunk uncle.
The drunk uncle that
speak about politics and like.
Yeah, you nailed it.
little creepy.
And because, you know, Earth is flat.
Past criminal record.
Yeah. I always wanted to be the drunk uncle.
I am that.
Danny is the drunk uncle.
Getting a little bit too close of the cuisine.
That's right. So Cam, since we have our really, 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 really special guest here, you don't have any questions you want to bother him with?
I do. We talked about it a little bit, but I want to know like what really got you into architecture.
I don't know.
Next question.
Nice question, Cam.
Next.
Stumped him.
No, for real, I don't know. It's, as I told, it's, I was, my mother actually, like last time I went to her place, she just found back a massive collection of drawings I made when I was Spanish, so 14 years old. And it was all about Dracula castle and knights and swords, and because
Medieval stuff.
Yeah, medieval, very medieval, because I used to play Dungeons and Dragons, like role game, and I did another classes, like, how do you call it? Do you have that kind of things in America when you do like a year and you was not good enough, so you have to do it again?
Flunking?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
It's called failure here.
It's all fail.
They don't sugarcoat it.
So I did it because of a video game. Yeah, yeah.
oh, nice. So you played the game so much that you had to take it again?
Yeah. It was all that kind of medieval games, you know, and Lord of the Rings. I was reading, watching, and I was hiding. When I was, I think, 6 years old, I went in school hiding a fake sword in my pants and was like walking all the day like this. And at the end of the day, my mother was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I have my sword."
I wish a motherfucker would.
I get medieval on anybody who wants to smoke.
You're about to get jumped. Or was it like paper? Like, whatever.
So yeah, I think I was always into that kind of stuff. And there is an old singer in France, like a very famous one, Prell. And he said if you want to find your real passion, find what you used to love to do when you were young, but like child. And if you find it during your adulthood, it will be the thing that can drive you on, you know?
That makes sense, because when I was a kid, I loved to do drugs. And then as an adult, I found my passion.
No, kids, not.
Yeah. And you got into tattooing a little later, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I started tattooing when I was 28.
Right.
And I'm 36 now.
Right. Because what did you do before that?
I was working in advertising. I was artistical director. No.
No, yeah, I remember you were telling me about that when we were in the car.
Mm-mm.
And I like that, because I feel here it's very encouraged. Like, if you're going to get into tattooing, do it when you're really young. I think part of that has to do with the apprenticeship. Like, hey, you're going to work for free. So if you're young, you can kind of be at your parents' house and like have that help.
The economy.
It's a lot harder to do when you're older.
It's very different in France. Actually, we are looking for apprentices that are a little bit older, because like we are considering that too young, you don't have something strong enough within you to put into your tattoos.
Yeah.
So it will be empty of sense.
Yeah.
You know? And even more, like, if you didn't made any job before being tattooist, you will not be able to realize how lucky you are, you know, because you have to get up early to go to working at McDonald's. I don't know, like I did it, you know, like on my resume, I have so many fucking bad jobs because I did it. And now I know that, no, actually being on time is not that hard.
Yeah, because here we expect, or I mean, I expect when I get an apprentice that they're a complete idiot, you know, and they have no life experience.
Why that?
Because that's how it was for me.
Okay.
You know, like when I came in to be an apprentice, like I was not only lacking experience, but I was a terrible person in general. And I like to think tattooing kind of saved me in that way. And my mentors sculpted me to be hardworking, to have passion, and like what's important and what's not.
Flip a coin.
What's that?
It's a bet. Like you flip a coin.
Right.
You don't know who is in front of you, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. So I try to have like little things that we'll look for, like little tests in the beginning, like just start showing up, or, you know, and then after a couple months go by and it's working, it's like, okay, let's get to work now. But I kind of like your way. It's almost like I'm looking for like the puppy and I'll just train him. That's fine. You're like, I'm not dealing with that shit. I want a well-trained, you know, adult dog or, you know, whatever.
Yeah, I had two different kind of artists in my shop. Like one that started, it was almost his first job.
Yeah.
And he always have been tattooist. And for him, it's all about getting famous and like having, how do you call it? Like when you start to showing off and you start to consider like diva, you know, that kind of diva.
Yeah.
And so this guy just left the shop because at some point he was too good, you know, and his ego was not able to get through the door anymore.
Yeah.
And
we're gonna make this door bigger. Your boy's walking through.
And I have another one, and the other one used to be what do you call it? Like not doctor but nurse?
Yeah.
Like
medical.
Yeah, and it was at the urgency hospital, so it was like dealing with many massive mess, you know, and he was waking up early during the nights, and like that's a hard job.
Yeah.
And now that he's a tattooist, he's just so annoyed by all that kind of diva stuff because it's like, do you know what I get through it? Like, it's so cool to be able to like. My job is just like making drawings and people happy, you know? And you have the other one like, no, but like 10 minutes late, it's quite okay because like my client is not here yet. And you're like,
Yeah, it's ungrateful.
You know?
No comparison.
No comparison. Right? No comparison at all. And I think that all the tattooists should make stages or, you know, class in an actual work that you have to dig or break rocks or, you know, like at the factory or all that kind of shitty works before becoming a tattooist, because then you realize. And, you know, I have a friend and he's a tattooist since, I don't know, like 10 years now. And at some point, you get bored of it because it happened.
Right.
And he was brave enough to stop it and to go back to some kind of factory shit.
Okay.
Yeah. And he did it. And he did it for 1 year. And he started tattooing again. And now he's fucking happy.
Yeah.
Because he realized, you know?
He had. What do you think? What do you think about what you have?
No, I'm very lucky. I'm grateful.
Do you think that like working here helped, or let's just say like working in the industry has helped you grow in some of those ways?
Yeah, it's definitely changed me as a person more than I thought. A lot more than I thought. Yeah, I'm definitely a completely different person than I probably would have been if I like continued through college or something. Like,
yeah, you got a beard now.
Yeah, they added a couple years on me. It's really fucking stressful.
But that's real. Like,
but it's good though.
How old are you? 22?
I just turned 22, yeah, last week.
That's already like very mature to be here, because at 22 I was still at school and making party all the nights, you know. So that's cool. And I think that maybe you will realize even more after, like when you will be like 28 and you will look at what you were when you were like 22.
I'm already grateful because I talk to like my friends that are in college still, and they're like, I'm miserable, you know, like I hate it, or like, you know, friends that are working at McDonald's still. So I'm very grateful.
And I think traveling, well, you need something to compare it to.
Yeah, true.
Right? So I think traveling and getting to experience different things and like being aware of your surroundings.
Yeah.
You know, even with like clients, like I always ask my clients, like, what do you do for work? You know, and a lot of times doesn't sound too good.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I'm an accountant. I was like, gross.
Yeah. Or even like he said, like with nurse or in the hospital, like I'll have clients who are like, yeah, I just got off a 2-day shift. Do you mind if I sleep through the whole tattoo?
Yeah.
Because I'm tired.
Yeah. I tattooed like a firefighter, and he's like, I just worked like 48 hours.
Yeah.
I was like, ugh.
You know, we have a job where we can travel kind of everywhere in the world and still work.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, he's giving to you the most valuable present ever. Like, you will be able to fish everywhere in the world now.
I heard present. He heard prison.
I heard prison.
Present.
I said, this place does feel like a prison.
You're right. Oh, this is prison.
I'm trapped. Help.
Help me.
But I'll have that conversation with some of the younger guys, and I can tell, like, you know, sometimes I have a problem with people arriving on time. They're like, it's just 10 minutes. I'm like, but that's not the point.
Yeah.
The point is that we all have an amazing job, and I don't have many rules, but one of my things is just be here on time, be ready, and let's do this together. But that goes a long way. It's being on time with your clients. It's like it's more than just, be here on time. It's prioritizing. It's getting your shit ready. It's getting everything set, and we all open up as a team. You can tell the difference between the younger guys and the older guys. And a lot of them, it's because they haven't had another job. They haven't had to fucking wear a uniform and go work for this fucking place and clock in and like pray I can have lunch today because we're busy as fuck. We all have a privilege of doing this. So one little rule that I have, you know, and I'll have to smack people in the hand for it. But it's more than just being on time. It's respect for the shop and, you know, for us.
I really hope that one of my tattooists will watch this video and listen to you. Thank you.
You have the comparison
Yeah.
that we're talking about. Like prior to this job, I mean,
I worked for the county.
Yeah.
I couldn't fuck up, couldn't be late.
But I can understand, you know, like you're doing a job because of you. So sometimes you say like, 10 minutes, it's okay. Like we're having a dream job and 10 minutes, it's changing everything, nothing. But actually, I agree. Like being on time is not being here when the shop is gonna open. Being on time is being here like 10 minutes before the shop is gonna open. Because if you're not here, maybe your client will come and it's your coworker that will welcome your clients, you know? And you will be very pleased that your coworker have been here before you. So maybe it's cool if you here and you can do it for your coworker, because maybe at some point your coworker will have kind of problems to be here all the time, like a real one, like car stuff. And that's like respectful to be here for actually the shop, you know, the team, like it's the same boat we're in together.
Yeah.
So yeah, great.
Yeah, it didn't click for me until maybe 24 years old. I think I'd been tattooing for 6 years. That it was completely up to me, right? Because I was working for other people, you know, as an employee in my head, and I was just so used to the boss or someone telling me what to do. Be here at this time, do this tattoo, do this piercing, leave at this time, stay late, come early, whatever. And I was just kind of like waiting for my orders, you know? And then I realized that I would like to be farther ahead in life than I was. And talking with my bosses and being like, let's do this, let's do that, whatever. And sometimes they weren't interested. And I was like, oh, I feel like I can't progress. And then there'd be the fear of like, oh, wait, like I can't rely on anyone. I can only rely on myself. And at first that was like scary. Like, shit, no one's here to like do it for me. All these other jobs I've had, like, you know, I have a team, I have, you know, the structure, they've done it. But then at some point, like I saw the other side of it, which is like, well, yeah, I have to rely on myself, but maybe that's a good thing because maybe I'm willing to work harder than where I'm at in life right now. Yeah. You know, and okay, I'm going to put in more time, more effort, whatever it is. And that ended up being one of the coolest things about the job. Because a lot of other jobs or corporate jobs, no matter how hard you work, you get paid the same amount of money.
I agree. This is like the type of job where it's like it comes down to you if you want things to happen.
Right. And I was just like limiting myself. Yeah. And I didn't even realize it. I thought it was other people. I thought it was the shop. I thought it was my boss. I thought it was my coworkers. But it was really me. And I think at the time I was waking up at like 11 o'clock. You know, I'd come in at noon, like fucking Cam, loser. And if I wasn't tattooing, I would like leave early. And I was like, well, what if I wake up a little earlier? What if I give my drawing a little more time? What if I produce better tattoos? Like I'll stay a little later if I have to. Oh, wow, the tattoos are coming out better. Maybe I could charge a little more, you know? And then it's like, that just kept going. And it's funny because I was talking to a friend yesterday and I was like, hey, you should do this. You should add this to your life. And they're like, I don't have time. And I'm like that's...
You don't want to find...
Like, yeah, no, like you're limiting yourself. Like you have time. You know, like wake up a half hour earlier and put a half hour into that every day, you know? And then you find a new thing, wake up a little earlier. And that was like my process. Like waking up at 11, I was like, I want to spend more time on my design. Now I'm waking up at 10:30. Oh, I want to stay a little bit later, you know, at work. I'm going to sleep a little later. Now I want to go to the gym. I wake up an hour earlier. I bought a dog. I got to walk the dog. All of a sudden I'm waking up at 7 o'clock. I don't even go into work at 1 o'clock. And you've done that too.
Yeah,
like,
but that's you. That's you.
Right, but it's a lot of us, and we've done it. Like you're like, hey, I want to open a shop. That comes with responsibilities. Hey, I want to start this channel with the castles. You're doing that on your off time, right?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, it's a lot of time. You know, hey, I want to research this architecture so I can implement it into my artwork. Like these are all extra things.
But I'm not playing to Elden Rings.
Right, right. You have to give up some stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
you have to, and that's why
I just throw the Xbox out of my house.
Like everyone now is telling me, like you have to play to Hogwarts, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
but because there is a castle in it, and the castle is so cool, and I'm like, I saw so fucking better castle, like for real
ones,
and I can touch it for real. Okay, I don't have like magic wands, but like
nah, but this like bullshit about like, oh, I don't have enough clients. Oh, I don't make enough money, which like happens here. I'm like, what did you do this week to do that? It's most of the time they say nothing, bro.
It's about the shoulders, like how big they are. because
Right.
you have shoulders to carry everything, but most of the people can't. And if they say I don't have time, most of the time I realized that like not that long ago, it's real. When they say I don't have time, it's real because they have to keep time to be cool because they can handle all the pressure that we love to have.
Maybe you're right.
You know, and sometimes we just like you can do because
Right.
I know that we are very similar. So like sometimes you just see like the potential of a guy, and
Yeah.
and you say you can do better. I know that you can do better. So you're gonna push him, and you're gonna do better. But at some point, you're gonna hate you as well
Yeah.
because it's too much for him. You know,
Right.
and sometimes you just have to say, okay, you should do that. If you're not gonna do it, it's maybe because you need to rest, and it's if you feel good like this, it's okay. Actually, there will be another good artist.
Yeah.
You know, you
That's
will
so
be-
hard for me though.
Yeah, that's hard. That's
'Cause, like,
same for me.
really think everyone has the potential to be amazing.
Actually, no.
I know. It's like a stupid childhood dream.
Yeah.
You know?
You're gonna push them. You're gonna bleed them.
Right.
And you know, in Fight Club,
Yeah.
at some point you say, I'm gonna push you, you're gonna hate me, you're gonna cry, but you're gonna do it. And I was thinking that it's cool, you know. I hope that someone can push me that way. And actually it doesn't work. Like it doesn't work because I had that many guys that I pushed and they went very far into that art. And at some point, like it broke
Collapse.
the friendship and everything. And I was thinking like, okay, I don't care if that guy is my friend anymore because I know that he reached a good artistical point, you know,
Yeah.
goal. And the moment he left the shop, he stopped and he just like get down into his.
Yeah.
So, you know, like being able to draw something good doesn't make you being able to be a good artist. Actually, you are because you can handle, you have the shoulders. So it makes you being able to carry all that stuff.
I need to tell you about Allegory's new Ultra Black. This stuff is dark, maybe even darker than my childhood. It is amazing for lining, shading, and even blackouts. And I know a thing or two about blacking out. You got to check this stuff out on allegoryinc.com. Use discount code unemployable for 20% off. Again, go to allegoryinc.com, check out their new Ultra Black, and use discount code unemployable for 20% off. What are you doing back there? Oh, you're so lucky you're working.
Kylie, can
She's
you,
back
can you turn
there
that
cutting
one
How
shorts.
are your shoulders?
Frail.
Scrawny?
Frail.
What can you carry, you think?
Empty
I
McDonald's
mean, listen,
cup.
you
His
know what?
emotions.
You've had direct experience with what I'm talking about. Because my mindset might be unrealistic, like you're saying, you know? And I always, like, someone wants to come in and I'm like, I want to push you to your full potential. I want to find your breaking point. And the only way to find that is to go over it and then just come right back. And that's like where we should be.
Yeah, I think like what you have like works well. I think like the way you do your apprenticeships and how you teach people is very like, I don't want to say it's situational, but it kind of is. Like your apprenticeship's not for everybody. I don't think so. You definitely like weed out like if you're built for it or not, I think.
What do you think about that concept in general?
I agree with both of you. Like, yeah, not everybody's built
More
for
me,
it.
I know, yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't care.
No, yeah. But he also is right too. Like sometimes people may hit like crashing points, or everybody is different. Like you said, like it took you almost 6 years into it for you to start getting it together. So, you know, everybody's different.
It's about
Tattooing's
being
a lot of
father.
pressure.
It's about being a father, actually.
Yeah.
You know, a mentor.
Yeah.
It's just like, do you really want, like, if someone come to you and say, John, like, push me, for real, like, you know, get into it, like, you will be able to push him.
Yeah.
But now what
not
I
everybody
do,
wants that.
No,
sometimes,
actually,
they
no.
want to be like softly taught. And like,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care.
What I do now is like, I don't care. I do my stuff and I go for like more. I do more stuff and I wait for people to ask me, because when they ask, they're ready.
That's
And
how he does too.
You show the path and you wait. Right. And if they want to, it's going to be way more powerful for them.
I think
it's more like attraction.
Yeah, and you are. Like the things you do, like you show to the people. So like you're doing so many stuff, like if they really want to see what is like high standard artist, they just have to look at you for real. So like if they want to follow your path, you're showing it. So it's easy for them. So if they don't want to do it, you will not make them.
Yeah, it was kind of like that for me too. 'Cause I was like in a couple months in, and I was like, yo, this guy isn't teaching me shit. What the fuck's going on? And I realized I had to ask shit.
I'm out.
Am I going to be able to get out of my mom's house or what?
I was like, oh, I have to try.
So we were talking about, and this kind of plays into this topic, artists versus craftsmen, we were saying. Now, like when training someone, what are you looking for? Well, I guess first let's define the two, right? Because we were kind of saying that like an artist is someone like with the passion, doing the extra work, like creating.
No, because it can be a craftsman as well. I think what can be the real difference between artist and craftsman is pushing forward. No, forward is like in advance. Like, yeah, pushing forward your art. Seeking for something different, like making art getting better. Not like taking tattoos from Instagram and making them again. Even if you make it very well, you're like a craftsman can have like a lot of techniques.
Yeah, the technical aspect.
Yeah, very technical. So you can be a hard worker, very professional, etc. And you can be a very bad human being artist.
Yeah.
It's just like, do you want to make some friends?
Right.
And it doesn't matter. Like, as I told you, Caravaggio, like this very famous 16th century painter, he didn't had any friends at that time. Right. But he will be unforgettable.
Yeah.
Because
of his art.
Yeah, because of his art. It was like focusing on his art, and he make like this light and obscure paintings, and he changed the game. Already changed the game. And at that time, all the other artists was just like, I can say that in front of the camera, but like, the others.
Yeah.
Because like the painting industry was the same than the tattoo industry. So you just like, and it's something that I told you, I'm just pissed off about all the artists that just go to being influenced by the guy who is the most charismatic.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, and how can it be? Like, how can you be influenced by someone because he's charismatic instead of because he's a good artist?
Yeah.
I know it's like a utopic.
Right.
But for real, like, it doesn't get the game better.
Yeah. It's like, I'm just going to pay attention to this person because they're the most popular.
Yeah, because it's fire. And
right.
Like, in convention, for example, you will have like that kind of noisy artist.
Yeah.
It's like,
like a salesman almost.
Dude, and a lot of times the best artists, I don't even notice because their head's down.
Yes.
They're working all day. They haven't left their booth. But I barely notice them.
No.
But I'll notice the fucking asshole yelling.
Mm-hmm.
And they get the attention and they get the following. All of a sudden, this person becomes like a dictator of the art industry.
Yeah.
And so many times we'll talk about here, like we'll find this artist on Instagram that is amazing, and they don't have a big following.
No.
Yeah.
And they were hard to find in the first place.
And they're very quiet and very hard workers, and
Just look at Phil. Like,
Yeah.
he's super underrated.
Even Nate.
Yeah, even Nate, like for what he does, like I'd say one of the best color artists down here.
Which kind of sucks because it's almost like those people should get the
They
rewards.
should, but they're not the loudest in the room.
Right.
And they're never gonna be because they're so focused on their art. Like
Right.
Phil's back there, head down, drawing
All day, every day.
all day, every day, and it shows.
Yeah.
Same with Nate. Like he tattoos. He takes like 2 breaks a day,
Right.
and then he's back to tattooing.
Yeah, we
Right.
should make a social media where you can just rate the picture or the tattoo you see without the name on it. You know, like you don't know where.
Oh, don't know who did
is.
it. You're just
you know,
no
You're just like,
bias.
do you like
Yeah.
the art? Like
Right.
just judging about the art, and because that's the way it should be, not like. Oh, I saw this guy and I hope he's gonna like me, so I'm gonna put a comment on it. So,
Right.
yeah, your work is fire, and
Right.
and then I hope to see you at the next convention because I just want to be friends.
Right. Because a lot of times with these artists that are quieter, like I'll tell them, like, you've already done the hardest part, which is the artwork. It's amazing. And just the way the world works, you have to just be a little louder. And a lot of times they're like, I don't want to.
No,
They're like, I don't care. That shit is dumb. You know, and I'm like, damn, I respect you even more now. You know, but it's like, where's that line or that healthy balance? Because I've also seen amazing artists. Sometimes they're like not able to get busy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, everyone needs to know about you. Like, you're amazing. And a lot of times because I've seen people with crazy followings that not only does their artwork suck, but they suck as a human.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Dude, even to the point where I'll like block them on Instagram. I'm like, yo, I can't hear any more of your garbage. It literally makes me more dumb.
I'm losing brain cells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even just like to open the app and see them, and it makes me not feel good for 5 minutes. That's not worth my fucking time.
you know, now, I mean, it's cool because you can do something else as artist, like making, as for example, as I do, like tattooing in a castle is not about art, making like TikTok is not about art, but it's cool with it because like I think that for both of us, it helps us to feed our art.
In the creative aspect.
Yeah, in creative. So that's cool, but you can also see a lot of people on, because you try to be creative. You're like you have the narrative and you know everything, but you see all that tattooists on TikTok. They're just like doing stuff like this, or just like bouncing over the camera, and that's not creative. You know, you're just like following the trend, and it's exactly the opposite that we are supposed to do.
Yeah.
So I think that the next game changer can work, actually. How? I don't know.
Right. Now, would you say like in your shop you would hire artists and craftsmen, or
Yeah, because it's not bad to be craftsman. You can be a very good craftsman, and I think that some clients need them. Because if you want like a traditional rose, it's okay. Like I will never judge on like what you can love as aesthetics.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of times the craftsmen can handle a lot of different styles.
Yeah.
Because they've just worked on the technical aspects of the styles. And maybe I'll see the artist trying new things a little more, and maybe even failing more than the craftsman because they're trying to produce something new. You know, we'll see some of the difference. I think some of the things that I might notice are the artists are staying late to draw. You know, they're typically the ones coming up to me and saying like, have you seen this? This is new. I've never, you know, whatever. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe the craftsmen are showing me like techniques about the machine or how they are able to pull a straighter line or their fades.
And I think they're technical with their equipment. Knowledgeable.
I think that an artist can also work without a pencil, without a paper. You know, like when you're an artist, you can just like go outside and just working in your head. Actually, because since I'm doing architecture, I'm always working.
Yeah.
Always.
Right.
Like I'm listening to audiobooks, for example, about like King's history, and then I'm gonna look some TV show like, I don't know, Game of Thrones, just like Game of Thrones, I take screenshots of the architecture and blah, 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 and I'm always working, always, because it's just like thinking about it. I think it's one of the main differences, actually, just like try to improve, try to think and try to find new stuff. And I mean, that's cool. Like, it's about having concept,
Right.
like the bottom of it, it's having a concept. We had that conversation with Dan. He made like a funny video about a guy who is tattooing with a compass. You saw it?
Yeah.
It's like a shitty scratcher, and
Yeah.
the guy is like laying down and is making a round with a compass.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you saw it?
Yeah, he's
And
going viral right now. That
yeah,
guy.
yeah, it went viral. And so Dan was like, no, it's not a tattooist. And I said, okay, I can understand it. Like, it's badly done, horrible, and it's like nothing relatable to the tattoo industry. But maybe is showing that tattooing can have another concept, you know, that you can go for a while and just like looking to something else. So it's made in a bad way, but it's just like showing a new path.
Yeah.
And that's cool, because at some point maybe someone will say like, okay, so we can do something different, and like with another aspect, another knowledges, another, I don't know, but like well done.
Yeah, and maybe fine tune it. Build off someone else's trial. Yeah. Have you tried anything new?
Always.
Like what?
I've been trying to get into the calligraphy stuff.
Try new styles and that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
I'm trying to like push the blacks in my tattoos too. I'm trying to follow like the rule of thirds and everything now.
Nice. Try different theories.
Yeah.
But that's craft.
Different
That's craft.
trying like different ink setups, everything. Yeah. Constantly trying something.
Would you say you're an artist or a craftsman?
I'd say right now a craftsman. I'm trying to improve the artistic side of things. I've always struggled with creating, which is why I drew like realism before, like tattooing. So I've always like been able to like replicate what I see, but to create something is a little difficult for me.
Do you have patience?
Yeah, I have a lot of patience. Some of my ballpoints take me months to do.
Okay.
Months. Yeah.
Cool.
Too long.
What do you... Go
Sorry,
ahead.
sorry.
No, I was going to change the subject.
You should just close Instagram and go to some museums.
Yeah.
For real. Like, try to change the source of
Of
your...
like references and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, for real. Like, Instagram is just about people copying people. So, yeah, go to somewhere else. Like, find your real, how do you call it, passion?
Yeah, or like inspiration.
Yeah, find the thing that is like...
I'm trying to like only follow like people that are freehanding stuff right now. Like I'm like Brandon Herrera, like people who are doing like crazy like bio-organic freehanded stuff, or like even like your work, like people are doing like freehand mandalas.
Did you get to watch him freehand that sleeve?
Yeah, it was crazy. It was super cool.
Did you ask questions or you're too shy?
I've asked a couple. Try not to bug him too much.
I saw a guy, like, just to show you that you can just open your mind, because like there is no limits. I saw a guy, he was making like bioorganic by taking the thing that can project the projector.
Yeah.
Projector, and in front of the projector, in front of the light, he was taking leaves from the trees, and he just put the leaves, and the leaves was projecting on the canvas, and it was just like making lines following the leaves.
That's cool. Like gave him like a basic shape, and then just
What's
ran
the
with it.
limit? Like the
Yeah.
limit is just your imagination.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's pretty cool getting like a projector and setting it up on
Yeah.
somebody.
And I'm sure that he haven't seen it on Instagram.
I have not.
Don't copy
that's
that guy
cool.
now.
I'm getting a projector.
But he can
Cam
open the
shows
path.
up with a bunch of leaves.
I'm ready.
We're like, you missed the concept.
I'm like hanging them in front of the box. Like,
Making hand puppets and shit.
that's good. Holy shit. That was good.
That was a dog.
Yeah, in this shop though, you'd have someone like all of a sudden you see a big
Dick.
Don't work,
Fucking
guys.
ball sacks on your client's forehead.
Yeah.
Now, what about like working with clients? Because I'll like go to your Instagram and it's all castles. It's all cool shit. It's all architecture. And it's obviously all stuff you want to do, right?
No.
No?
No.
All right, well, it appears, that's cool. It appears to be that. Because I know a lot of artists, including myself early on, you know, I have these clients, I'm like, yo, like I want to do cool stuff, but I feel like my clients don't want cool stuff. All Cam's clients out there, you know?
Get some cool shit.
But it's like, how do I work with the client, but also get cool artwork as a result?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find out. I think first, like many people who's not into architecture would just like have a look on my job and say just, oh, okay, it's all about castle. But actually, all like architecture, you know, like you have like the cinema, I think is the 7th art, and dancing is like the 5th, and you know, like you
gotcha.
have all that
Yeah.
classification of arts. Architecture is the first one. So like, boom, because it's
Number one.
number one architecture, because it's the first thing that human being made.
Right.
You know, like before painting over the wall, we made roofs.
Built the wall.
You know, like it was just like branches to
Right.
like, and it was the first thing that human being made. So architecture is really an art. And when you are into architecture, you can find many differences between my tattoos. Like, for example, the Slavic roofs are not the same that the Islamic walls. And so when I take a look of my medieval architecture, they're not the same at all. For me, it's like completely different. But for someone that doesn't know about it, it will be everything about castle.
Right.
So for me, first of all, it's very different. And then I refuse the client that will just like come to me and say, I love your work, do whatever you want.
Interesting.
Because like it's not respectful for the client. I remember when I was a very young apprentice, I saw that diagram, is that correct?
Yeah.
With, you know, the circles, like 3 circles, and you have to aim the point where all the circles are together.
Gotcha.
So there was like 3 circles. One was the client, the other was the symbol, and the other was the tattooist.
Yeah.
And for example, the client would come to me and say, I don't care, do whatever you want. It's just like, I know I want your job. It's all about the tattooist circle. And you forget the client and you forget the symbol. And that's shit. Like, it's not gonna make a good tattoo. So you have to find like, okay, so you like my designs? Thank you. It touches you. I'm grateful. Now, tell me who you are. It's gonna be the client, and tell me what you want, and it's gonna be the symbol. And it's what I told you. It add constraint to my art, and it's gonna make me better, because the client will say to me, for example, I had a client. He was learning about bird stuff, ornithology. So, and he was learning ornithology in a city in France called Strasbourg, okay? And he wanted me to make something. And in Strasbourg, we have that massive cathedral, and inside the cathedral, the org, how do you call it? The
Organ?
Yeah.
The organ is a very specific shape, which is called the sparrow shape.
Okay.
And the guy is learning about birds.
Gotcha.
and he was learning in Strasbourg. So we made that massive piece about an organ that was so medieval architecture with all the roads, window on the side that make like winds, you know, and it gave something very special that I was not able to think by myself.
Right, because you wouldn't have known that about him.
Yeah, and like it's gonna give like a very special tattoo for him and just for him, and I have my place in it because it's my art.
Right.
So everything is respected, and that works. So every time I have like a client that want me to make something good for them, I have to ask them first, what do you want? Why do you want? Who are you? And
Yeah.
and
And it gives them
something
some
good.
self-expression on them.
Of course.
Sometimes it's tough when I get a client and they're like, do whatever you want. Because I'm like, I don't know you, you know? And it's probably not true, right? If I'm like, all right, yeah, let's just put a bunch of hateful stuff with a bunch of nudity, like they're probably going to be like, well, not anything, you know?
And it gives the same if you're just taking the other circles. For example, like the client who don't respect the circle of the client or neither the circle of the tattooist, it will be all about the circles of the symbol. What is gonna happen is gonna like be the children names.
Right.
You know, it's all about the symbol. You don't care about the aesthetic or neither
Or the
about
meaning.
you know.
Yeah.
It's just like you're gonna have this. But like the same thing, for example, like the children names, if you respect the artist, is gonna say, okay, I can do something better because I have that knowledge in art. And if I just look about you as well, like, okay, you choose cool name for your children, but I'm sure that your children doesn't care about their name.
Right.
Like, if I get tattooed John over me, will you be,
Right.
you know, like you don't care about your name.
Yeah.
But like if I want to get a tattoo over you, like I will search something else, you know, like,
Right. Like more in the style.
yeah, more about you, like, and it's everything like this. Like you take the 3 circles and you can try to respect the client one, the artist one, and the symbol one.
Right.
And if you find to reach them all, it's gonna be a good tattoo. And that's why, like, for example, many of the craftsmen doesn't respect it because like it's all about flashes. And how can you respect the client
Like pre-drawn
circle
designs.
with a pre-drawn design?
Right. Like here, I have a bunch of designs you can choose from that I made without meeting you.
Yeah. And you try to find one that belongs to you a little bit, you know? And yeah, it can like be cool because like I had this.
Yeah.
But actually, if I do something for you, it's gonna be different and it's gonna be more into you. So yeah, I think it's the only way to be a good tattoo artist.
What about a client that just wants to get tattooed by you because they like you and they want the experience? So like that's like what the meaning is about. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I'm gonna have a talk with them. I'm
Right.
gonna learn like
You're
they
still
are.
gonna find some.
Yeah. I did it very often.
Yeah.
Each time.
Because I was telling. Oh, go ahead.
They're pretty much your gallery. Do you want, when someone asks them about your work, be like, oh, I just love his work, so I got it? No, explain why you got it, and that shows a lot about you.
Yeah.
So everybody you tattoo is a walking, talking gallery, and you want to explain to them why we did this. Not just, it looks cool.
Yeah.
So I absolutely respect
Like,
that.
where did you grew up?
Yeah.
You know, like maybe you went into holidays at your grandmother places, and there was like that cathedral, that building, that castle, that
And
thing. Like, you know,
something, yeah.
architecture is really the place where human being belongs to. Like, it hold us like in a geographical place. You know, it's strong. Like, we all have that place that remind us something. You know, we are like living on that flat surfaces. We have many buildings. When I will think about my journey into USA, of course I will have some architectural memories about like, you know, when I come from there, I just aim that building here.
Yeah.
So I like realized that there was like that gray squares over the building, so I can recognize that building, you know, and you have like palm tree everywhere and it creates something. and it's the place we're living in, so it belongs to you quite.
Yeah, you get more experience, more stored images in the head.
This is a crack house right by me.
Yeah.
I love it.
There's nothing but squares down here.
Yeah. You got this basement tattoo because I don't want to talk about it. Now, because I was telling you, I was exploring some artists, and certain artists I found will only tattoo certain parts of the body, and they'll only do certain designs, right? Like, I will only tattoo faces. I will only tattoo, animals. I mean, what do you think about that? I just saw your eyebrow raise.
I will only tattoo forearms.
Yeah.
And I will only tattoo good-looking girls.
Right.
What do you think about it? How can it be, like, for real?
Yeah.
How can it be? I don't understand. Like, if we are tattooists, our job is to transform people. That's it. Like, it's too easy to take, like, good-looking girls because it's gonna make, like, good pictures.
Yeah.
You're a cheater.
Yeah.
For real. Like, I love having hard skins and difficult places because actually it makes you become a good tattooist. Otherwise, like, of course forearm, of course all the time the same is gonna look good. You know it. So keep going.
Right. And I was thinking about that. Like, if I only tattooed forearms, I would miss other body parts.
Of course.
Like, even though I fucking hate tattooing necks, the end product is so
good,
cool.
Of course.
So cool. Or even a big rib piece, nightmare.
I
Like,
love it.
And for me, I'm like, oh, you're going to be fucking miserable. You're going to be in
you're
pain.
gonna sweat. You're gonna cry. You're gonna
Right.
it's a nightmare.
You're gonna
doing
smell
it, but
weird. Yeah,
it's
whatever.
So big, so huge. When the people do this, it's
Yeah.
Yeah, when
you know?
they stretch, it gets
Yeah.
twice as big.
Yeah, but it looks cool. I love it. Like, our job is to transform people, not to put the design we were wanking in, because, like, you're just a wanker illustrator
Right.
and you love your work and you love your design because you're not a tattooist, you're just an illustrator that try to win money.
Yeah.
So you're just gonna put your design on someone and you're not respectful for the clients.
Right.
Just like the client want to be transformed, and that's what we do.
Yeah, and even with, like, hands, faces, fingers, feet, like, I've seen a lot of artists turn that down, and man, you come in and you want to get your face tattooed, yo, I'm so excited. Like, don't get me wrong, I'll go through the proper channels, I'll make sure, you're of age and like
Clean.
sober,
Conscious decision.
right? But if everything lines up, like, I'm really excited because I think it's cool, and I know a lot of societies and cultures might typically look down on that stuff. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
Even with, like, the fingers is a big debate. Like, some people are like, no, it'll never stay, but it's like, well, let's choose a simple design that has a good chance of staying. And maybe if it doesn't heal correctly, you come back and we'll just touch it up. But the reality is, like, with a finger, if you come back enough times, that fucker will be in there. You can get it done. And it's like, maybe you just don't have the experience of doing that, or a palm tattoo, or, like, learning how to, like, dot stuff in rather than just bold. Like, it's more work, sure. But sometimes that produces the best result, because you earned it. Like, you tried hard. And a lot of times it just seems like people are looking for the shortcut.
Yeah, but we're not supposed to. Like, as an artist, if you want to get tattooed, will you prefer, like, a tattooist will show you, like, a pre-drawn design, like a book of them, like, choose what do you want, or just like a tattooist will say, okay, if I want to watch the design, I will go to on you. At the end, I just want to have the wow feeling, like, it's like transcending.
Right.
And it's something that I try to do every time when I just, like, look at my canvas. I'm gonna, like, okay, how can I have the wow effect? Like, at the end, I just want to look at my tattoo and say,
and have the wow factor.
You know?
Yeah.
Because it's something that I want my tattooist to do over me.
Right.
And I think it's normal. Like, if you do something on someone, you want to have, like, I have this example. A friend of mine, is always transcending designs. If you ask for him a flower here, how do you call, like, the thing under the flower?
Vine?
The stem.
The stem?
Yeah.
Okay, so the stem is like a licking drop going over the foot.
Yeah.
You know, so, and it's like very clean and very, and you just have the flowers, but when you see it, you recognize it and you say like, whoa.
Right.
You know, it's something that's art.
Right.
And I prefer it. So actually we have like to like, fuck it.
Yeah.
You look at the design, you say, I'm gonna transform you.
Right. Because it has become so much about the presentation. And what I mean by that is like the Instagram, the non-reality that's being created. So a lot of these factors, like people getting more and more and more specific, I think it's in their head so that they can create
It's
the
not
best.
gonna last.
Right.
It's not gonna last. Like the real ones recognize the real art.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know it. Like, okay, you can have millions of followers, and I know some of them, they have like 1,000 followers, and they are not booked.
Yeah.
And I know some artists that I have like 6,000 followers, and they're booked over than a year.
Yeah.
You know, it depends what you wait for. Like being
Right.
famous, okay, keep going. That small tattoo that will gonna look shit in a year. But if you try to make something more, and actually I think that if we try to remember artists after, you know, like being unforgivable, is not gonna be the Instagram tattooist.
Right. Interesting. What do you think about that, Cam?
It's pretty true.
Pretty true?
Yeah.
Copy paste. When you're doing like a consultation and someone brings you like a photo reference, you like say, no, I don't want to see it. Let's talk.
What kind of reference are you talking about?
Like just like other examples or, oh, I want it done like this. I want this style. I want this. You'd be like,
There is not really other tattooists doing my stuff. So I'm very lucky about it.
Yeah.
They never send me references about other tattooists. Actually, some of the time it's my tattoo that just give me an example about the design they want. And after that, it's going to be like, I love this cathedral, I love this city, I went there, and it's all about real buildings, real architecture.
Yeah.
So it's all open for me. I try to destroy the architecture, find some ornamental stuff in it that I think it's interesting. I just play over the scales, actually, like taking big parts, making it small, taking small part, making it big, like, and try to building something new over it.
that's awesome.
What country do you think has the best tattooers?
Russia.
Yeah.
They are all artists.
Different question. What country do you think has the cleanest tattooers? The most hygienic?
The most hygienic, I think France and Germany. Yeah, the legislation there is very, very hard.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
We were even talking about like the reach policies
Yeah.
and different concerns that people have with that. It was cool when I went over to your shop. I'm so used to being familiar with every product. And like I didn't know any of the products. Like the alcohol even was in like a metal container, right? And you know, over here it's always plastic, and you get attached to these visuals, these branding, these packaging. And I was like, you know, like I'm like, I've been tattooing like a pretty long time, and I don't know what any of this fucking stuff is.
Can I show you something? Maybe you will cut it after, like,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
when I
yeah.
explain to you, don't move. So in France,
Yeah,
you can have,
can pay attention.
I'm watching.
you can't have that kind of container.
Okay.
Because even if you have something antibacterial in it, like here, you're gonna have like life developing in it.
In the curve, in the bend?
Yeah, here, because you can't mechanically wash it.
Gotcha.
So you should have, in France, we will have like small bottle like this, but with a hole in it. So you just like put a little bit of water.
Right.
You remember?
Yeah.
And then you can take like something, and once a week, so you take this, you put on some like product to clean it and to make it sterilized, and then you, within the hole, you just clean it. But here, you can't put something in to wash it, so you will have like some, you can
build up.
Yeah,
like,
it's something like a little bit viscous,
Yeah.
and actually it's life.
Right.
So that kind of continent in France is forbidden.
Gotcha.
Damn, we're dirty.
Did you know that, Cam? Nope. Well, I don't even use that bottle. What else? Have you noticed anything else?
Yeah, green soap is forbidden in France.
Because it's green? Because in the airport, they didn't let me bring any green bottles.
No?
No.
The real thing?
They were mad. I even had Perrier. I was like, I thought you guys loved this shit.
This Irish Spring soap? Get that shit out of here.
No green soap.
No green soap. We only use antibacteriological soap.
Right.
Like medical for hospitalization, and it's something that you first clean. So you have to clean the skin twice with antibiotical soap, and then you will put like a antibiotical spray over it,
Right.
twice as actually, and then you let it dry, and then you can tattoo.
Yeah, I remember the first thing I asked is I was like, yo, how do you guys do things over here? Because I want to do it how you do it. And you told me that. You're like, we clean, we shave, we clean again, and then we're ready. And I'm like, all right, cool. I was just having fun using the different products. I was like, cool, and then I just spray them with this shit. Whatever. But that was good. Because you've seen it all. You have guest artists from all different countries. And you've probably gotten to see a bunch of different methods for that, right?
Yeah.
Some good,
Yeah.
some bad.
Yeah. Like, actually, the Eastern Europe are almost the same rules every times. Like, very similar in Germany, France, a little bit in Italy, Spain.
Right.
Like in Spanish convention, for example, you you have glasses over you. Like, people can cough over your
Gotcha.
canvas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's quite different because you can go that close of the tattooist, but it's, I think, better because like they are trying to make legislation over your shop, but when you go to the convention, you have like people, oh, I love your design.
Right. Or like touching you. Like, I hate
How do you make them?
yeah. Well, that feels cool.
No bumps.
But what about like paper towel, ink cap, like all these things we use that aren't sterile? What do you?
But it's clean.
Okay.
We don't have to being sterile, or the piercer have to.
Right.
But the tattooists were not gonna deep enough to be sterile. It just have to be very, very clean.
Right. I'm just careful because I'll get that like all the time. Like I'll have, maybe someone comes up. We actually either made a video or we're gonna make a video. Oh, we didn't make it yet, but whatever. They'll like complain about one thing and then you see them be dirty in like another aspect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's great to try to improve anywhere we can. And it's cool to hear other methods and like, see what works and what doesn't. Sometimes I think it's a little bit overkill, but I've noticed like with myself, simpler is better. Like if I can just keep it like as simple as possible, there's less chance for negative things to happen.
That's
right?
my client.
Oh, nice. Hello.
Yeah, true.
But shit, that distracted me. I lost my train. I was gonna go somewhere. Just pretend I said something real good. Gotcha. Real good. Yeah. So and you can just cut it and then do LAHHEL being like, "Whoa, my mind's blown." We're gonna probably wrap it up in a second since this client got here. I feel like you've just been a spectator this episode.
I mean, he's fascinating. I'm just listening, to be honest. Yeah.
Right.
It's been a good one.
No, I'm not saying
I'm
it's a bad
super
thing.
interested. I did one of the
Looks at the board.
Well, I was saying, like, yeah, we did touch everything. I wanted to know, how long was it into tattooing before you started to do like the architectural stuff, or were you doing that from the start?
2 years and a half. At first, I was really doing everything because the apprenticeship I made was doing realism, color, and I think it's very important to know a little bit of everything, because if you start doing your stuff instantly, at some point you will miss something. Because sometimes it's just like making something that you don't really like, and it's like, actually I like it. Or at some point you will, because I was not making shading with Magnum at first. I was always whipping and like dot work and stuff. And now that I'm doing like kind of stone stuff that I do, sometimes I do like kind of not realism, but like gray shading stuff, and I like it and I enjoy it a lot.
With the mag.
Yeah, with the mag. And if I was listening to me before, I will not be able to do it because I will not be able to learn it at first. So yeah, at first I was like doing a little bit of everything, and I'm quite happy to be able to talk about color, for example, like all the other stuff, and then little by little you go to, like, you find your way, but to find it you have to open them all first.
And what was it like getting in, like when you decided that you wanted to start doing that?
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like flow, you know? You, at some point you change something, and then I think it's the clients that choose for you, because they know where you're the best, because you pay more attention when you like something, and then you go more into it and you try harder.
Yeah. And then it shows in tattoo.
Yeah, you can see it. It's real. Like if I go over your page, I will do like, okay, this one is fire, and maybe it's gonna be the one that you prefer actually the more, because it was.
You can tell like the extra effort was put into it.
Yeah, sometimes your clients see things in you that you don't, or maybe you've just forgot.
True.
Right?
Yeah, they choose for you.
If you could give Cam some feedback on his tattooing or mindset, what would it be?
Actually, I made it.
You made it?
Yeah, I said to you, like, it's only like, you know, it's dropped, and I do nothing after. But it's just like, stop going on Instagram. Like, we can see that you're too referenced by Instagram. Like, stop going over it. You're going to look the same than the other one, and like, try to find other inspirational source. Like, it was real when I told you go to a museum, because like a museum is not, you know, watching paint on the wall. It's just like about other artists that making other stuff that is not into your world, and maybe you will be able to like collapse them. So it's why I love going, for example, on Michelin starred restaurants, because actually it's not restaurants. There are artists making a eatable exhibit.
Yeah.
You know, and you will have colors, and you will have textures, and you will have contrast. And actually, when you look at it, you're like, okay, we're doing the same job.
Right. There's just taste way better.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And it's the same. Like, the plates are beautiful. The place, the decoration is amazing. And if you go to an exhibit, it will gonna be the same. Like in museum, you will reach some other artists, but not in your world. And actually, I'm very. At first, when I started to make architecture, I was very afraid, because I was not able anymore to find a solution on Instagram. And it's hard, because like you're like, oh fuck, I have to do it, but I don't know if it's gonna look good. On Instagram, you have tons of artists that already tried it, so you have a prepared recipe, you know. But when you're alone, it's fucking scary. And then you try, and you try again, and you try again. And the thing that I enjoyed the most was buying books, because actually I had so many things in books that was not on Instagram. And then I was like, oh, fuck, I can do this, and I can do this. And it was like popping everywhere. And just like by going somewhere else than the places tattooists are. Just leave the tattoo world. Actually, it's the only, like, there is so many tattooists. How can you find something new over the tattoo world?
Yeah. Everything's almost been done.
Everything is made. But like go into the other art, like I don't know, there is dance, there is music, there is like cinema, there is a comics book. Comics book is something like pretty obvious. That's why like so many artists went there. But like go to a fucking museum, you will see sculpture, you will see like other world. That works.
It's pretty good feedback.
We going on a field trip, boys?
If you had to give LAHHEL feedback, and don't be a pussy.
Thank you.
And he went with a pussy.
Yeah, I saw it, like, and you can see it. You can see that in the tattoo industry, we try to mix art. Like I saw Ricky making some sculptures because, like, you have that statues, and it works over a tattoo industry. Like when you're like making statues,
Yeah.
Poseidon, gods, and it can be so cool to make it with other stuff. You know, like try it.
Cam's like, don't put your eye on the scope.
You have no feedback? You don't want to help him?
I don't think he needs my help.
I need everyone help.
No, but I think a great tool is to give each other feedback.
Yeah.
You know, we always say here, like, yo, you want a compliment, call your fucking mom.
No.
You know, it's not going to help you at all.
No.
So it's like, where can we improve? And I like it because it's a new thing for you, but you started to give me feedback sometimes.
Yeah.
When you feel like
Well,
we're having a good day together, and we
I
can
finally feel like I can pull a clean line. I was like, maybe I could put some input in.
Right, but I know a lot of times society is kind of like that, but you don't have to. You don't even have to be good at tattooing to help another tattooer.
Yeah.
You know, and hopefully a good tattooer can remain teachable to those that are less experienced. Because I hate that when you can't. Like, oh, I'm not listening to you. I've been tattooing way longer. I'm way better, blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, get hit by a bus.
No, yeah. I mean, from what I've seen from LAHHEL, everything's super cool.
No,
I think
no,
that
it's
like it is like like the freehand process. Like I said, like I'm getting into like all the freehand artists and stuff. So it's
Yeah.
cool to see it in person. It's cool to see like an end result in person too. It's cool to see your stuff in person. It's cool to see the process. I didn't realize how much you put into it until seeing it in person. It's really like super cool because I really didn't realize how much you actually put into it. Like seeing the hand drawn and then freehanding and
You saw
the
the sketchbooks?
Yeah,
and
the
stuff?
sketchbook. It's super cool. It kind of is like an eye opener to like, you know, you can do more for your tattoos and for your client.
But I don't play to Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Me neither.
Sorry. Sorry for you.
I'm sorry. I want to.
These are the sacrifices
Yeah,
we have to make.
Of course. Give me a second life. Maybe I will. No, actually, I will not.
Right. Sometimes I wish I didn't have to sleep
Mm.
so I could play video games.
No, I will not. I will not play to video games. I have other stuff to do first.
Listen, you're playing
Just
Hogwarts.
sometimes.
It's research, baby. That's
Right.
all it is.
Yeah.
Right, the whole thing's in a castle.
Yeah. I think I do this shit for fun.
Right. I'm
true.
working right now.
Serious. You can't do that. Oh, Cam's like, oh, on Fortnite, you have to build shit. So it's like,
I'm making castles, right?
oh my
It's like, I found my passion. So you've been here a week, right?
Yeah. And a week more.
In a week, you got a week left. What do you think so far? Would you come back?
Will you invite me?
Yeah, you're invited right now.
Okay, so
I don't care what Cam said.
Yeah. I will be very, very happy to come again. There is some stuff that I was not expecting to love that much in USA. Actually,
Yeah.
for real. Like, not about architecture.
Right. Everything's new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
everything's
not
like-
that good.
Yeah.
Everything's just square.
It's quick. They want to get it up quick.
Everything looks like a shipping container down here.
Yeah.
That's true. It's all about like architects want to mark something in history and not going together.
Yeah.
You know, but like I loved the mindset, and
Oh yeah, we were talking about that.
yeah, I don't know if it's about you guys here or the rest of the guys are the same, but I love how there is that open mind about having ideas
Right.
in general that is not the same in France. That is maybe too much conservative.
Yeah.
People are like stuck in their ways almost.
Yeah, if you see someone trying something new, maybe we'll like be jealous or you know, like judging
downplay,
or yeah. Here you will have more that kind of win-win concept that we're
Right.
talking about. Like, okay, your idea is cool. Maybe I can help you to go forward, because like if you go forward and if you have some kind of success, maybe I will have part of it, and I don't care about sharing it because you will help me as well. So that's cool. In France, it's like, okay, so this guy is making a video in a castle and I don't like it.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit harder. And I like the way you guys here are just like sharing everything and trying to improve themselves. I really enjoy it.
Awesome.
It's nice to hear.
Yeah, we got to get Cam over to France.
Okay.
I'd
Check
love
it
to.
out.
I know some cool shops.
Yeah.
That was good.
That was good. You got to brush up on your French. You know
Yeah.
any French?
Bonjour.
Cool. That's enough.
He's like no. Oh yeah, it's good. Fries.
Fromage.
Fromage.
Fromage. Baguette.
Croissant. I'll be just
Damn,
fine.
all right.
I'll be just fine.
That's how you'll
I'm
start.
Italian.
Bilingual. You're Italian.
Mhm.
Okay.
My last name's Fonte.
Okay. Nice.
I don't speak any Italian.
I know nothing in Italian as well.
I can read an Italian menu
Pasta.
fluently.
Oh, penny alla vodka. I speak that.
That was a weird accent.
You going for Super Mario?
It's me, man.
Ooh, that was good.
All right.
Anything else, Danny?
I think we got it all.
Cool. I guess Cam, you can shut us down. Give it to us with your best French
Yeah.
accent.
No.
Come on, bro. Have some respect for our fucking guest.
Give me like a quick. How would you sign us off?
Au revoir.
Au revoir. Au revoir.
Well, you know how to say you know how to say thank you, right?
No.
Merci.
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 Merci et au revoir.
You can say
Merci et au
LAHHEL.
revoir. LAHHEL.
You doing a spell? What the fuck?
That's all, folks.